Good morning and welcome to Rising. We've got a great show for you planned today. We had a good one yesterday, but it was marred by an unforgivable error on my part.
Oh, what was that?
So I want to apologize to all the William Carlos Williams stands.
Oh, they're going to be coming after you. What did you do? I still don't remember.
In one of the segments, I mentioned that Martin Heidegger and William Carlos Williams Martin Heidegger was a card-carrying Nazi and William Carlos Williams was a fascist. I was thinking of Ezra Pound. William Carlos Williams, not a fascist.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry. One humanities professor was like, I really don't think this is true, and I've looked everywhere because I'm nervous I'm going to have to pull him from the curriculum.
You just think...
I was like, no, my point is you don't have to pull him from the curriculum just because he's a fascist. Well, but it turns out he's not a fascist.
Just like a lefty accusing all the poets of being Nazis.
So William Carlos Williams, not a fascist, actually like a New Deal Democrat.
We are uncanceling William Carlos Williams.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Recanceling Ezra Pound.
Okay.
Yeah, strip those chapbooks off the shelf.
You know, I was a literature major in college, so I should have known that and corrected you, but I didn't.
You can't know every poet's politics.
College was a long time ago.
And it was a long time ago.
Anyway, Rebecca Azar and Emily Jashinsky are in for panel, and they will discuss Texas Governor Greg Abbott's border announcement. Plus, journalist Manny Marotta joins us from Ukraine to share updates on what's happening on the ground there. But first, a new study out of Israel found that the fourth dose of the Pfizer vaccine improves protection against infection, but appears to be short-lived. The study found that the effectiveness against COVID wanes in the fourth week after the fourth dose and was lower when compared to protection after the third dose of the vaccine. Israel was the first country to administer a fourth dose, and the study included more than 1 million vaccinated people from January 10th to March 2nd. So, I mean, it's, kind of what we were suspecting at this point. It's some temporary protection. It is what it is.
Right.
You can't count on the vaccine for some kind of perfect protection from infection. You still get extremely good protection, lasting protection from severe disease and death. Yeah. And that's as good as it's going to get.
Right. This is a good public health situation to be in, to give people this information. And then if you're 83 years old, you're like, I get 4 weeks of solid extra protection, and then it wanes, give it to me.
Sure.
You're 43 years old, you're like, I'm good.
Right.
think I'm fine.
I think I'm one and done.
Or three and done.
Yeah,
I think I'm three and done. So this is the type of information that might have staved off some of the more extreme tribalism in the early stages, where it was, where on the one hand people were saying at the very beginning, like, this is going to end it, like take the jab, it's going to end it. Other people were saying, it wanes immediately, and it's basically useless. It doesn't do anything to slow the spread, and that wasn't true either. So this, at this point, as the effectiveness of the vaccine continues to, just marginally decrease, and the risk of
the lethality
of the disease
decreasing,
also decreasing. You get to a point where it's probably only going to be in particular demographics and immunocompromised positions that you decide that that it's worth doing.
I never ended up getting a booster. I'm still theoretically willing to get one, but I haven't.
You had COVID right around that time.
I had it in July, so I was waiting until it'd be 6 months after that. It's now been 6 months, but I'm not clear. Maybe I should be clear. Maybe tweet at me if we know this, but I'm not clear if I'm just getting a booster of the vaccine. How much is that tailored to whatever new variant we're experiencing? It really isn't.
It's tailored to what they call wild.
Right.
Which, although we don't know if it's wild.
Yeah, I don't. And I think my natural immunity plus vaccination held up pretty well when everyone around me, including everyone in my life, got Omicron and I didn't. So I don't know. I feel good. I feel good to go.
Right, and the CDC is now talking openly about the immunity that comes from infection. That's never the desired way to get immunity, because the risks of getting COVID are significant.
But once you have it,
once you've had it and once you've gotten over it, also, you don't know if 10 years from now, it triggers some type of weird long thing.
Right.
But as of now, the CDC is saying that you have significant protection, both vaccinated and infected afterwards.
Yeah, good enough. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci says he predicts an uptick in cases and said a more serious surge could arrive in the fall. Fauci also told Bloomberg that the U.S. will run out of tests, monoclonal antibody treatments, antiviral drugs, and research capability if Congress doesn't sign off on more funding. Earlier this week, Fauci said masks may come back on indoors if there is a rise in cases. Let's watch that.
The CDC has been very clear, as you've indicated, that in fact, if things turn around and you have a rather substantial uptick in cases that is associated with an increase in hospitalizations, the CDC might turn around that recommendation and say, we've got to go back to indoor masks.
This messaging comes as members of the Biden administration and press corps are being hit with a fresh wave of COVID infections, but Politico reports that the White House Correspondents' Dinner will still go on. Sadly, the dinner has been canceled the last 2 years due to COVID, but planners say it's definitely happening April 30th. That was a tradition we did not need to come back, this kind of like incestuous party, this celebrity mingling prom for DC journalist people.
To close the loop, since it was always a celebrity fest, it was also the place, it was the source of Trump's Joker origin story. It's where he decided he was going to run for president because Obama was making so much fun of him from the podium. Shouldn't they, to bring it full circle, have Trump speak at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? He can be the comedian. And he's funny. He's actually funny.
That'd be great. We wouldn't be able to show any of it because of YouTube.
Know, what's so funny about him, you don't always know if he's trying to be funny. And you think sometimes he is, and then other times you're like, I'm not sure that he was trying to be funny there, but that was actually really funny.
Yeah. But of course they're going to go forward with this, even as everyone's getting COVID, even if they reimpose lockdowns on everyone. This will be like, no, we get to have our little party.
Will Fauci be there?
Probably maskless, probably.
Fauci will.
I can't. No, we should not bring back masks. Like, what is that doing? What is that going to accomplish? You can't tell me when Omicron came through, everyone I knew got it. Everyone in DC got it. It didn't matter if you were a constant masker. Didn't matter if you refused to wear them. And I'm sure masks help.
Right, it mattered a
little bit, but you can't even. And this is a mainstream opinion. Dr. Lena Wen has said this on TV that the cloth masks most people wear are little better than nothing at this point. It's just a highly, highly, highly contagious. It's a disease that keeps getting more contagious, less lethal. Thank goodness. Yeah. The masks are a feel-good gesture for some people who want to feel good. They don't make me feel good. They make a lot of us very angry. But I don't know why we bring them back.
And if you go back and look at the credit on that video, it says RNC Research.
Right.
So it's very clear how the Republicans feel like a surge that is accompanied by Fauci calling for masks in the fall would play out politically.
Yes. So can you schedule this for the month before the election,
yes.
please? Yes.
Right as mail ballots are dropping. We'd love to have Fauci out there telling everybody to get on their masks. So that so they're the ones that clipped that, not DNC Research. DNC Research was not thinking that this was useful to them. And take that for what it's worth. These are people who are paid very highly to poll the country and keep their finger on the pulse of what's going to move people which way. And they saw that and they're like, clip that, share it.
That's a good point. Reuters reported yesterday that all 26 million people in Shanghai are now on COVID lockdown with no end date given. There's been reports of people running out of food and other necessities as they're forced to stay home. And while some residents sang off their balconies and yelled for food and supplies, a drone appeared to tell them, please comply with COVID restrictions. Control your soul's desire for freedom. Do not open the windows or sing. Yeah, that's pure dystopia.
That helps my soul recoil in fear, so it no longer is desiring anything.
Yeah, all the China, pro-China people out there. I would not want China to be the global world leader. Like, it's the most. They're still pursuing COVID zero. I don't know what they're thinking, but their government is still pursuing COVID zero and might pursue it. They could pursue it another year. They could still be doing this for years, right. And they're going to get cases whenever they decide to stop. But it's crazy and bad.
And I posted some other videos that have come out of China from around the country that are just, I don't know if you've seen many of these, because not a whole lot of images come out, but some people are being able to post footage and get it up. Everybody having to line up at the end of every day to get tested so that their QR code stays green, because if it doesn't stay green, you can't work, can't get on public transportation, and you may go to a camp, some type of a camp. Like you could actually be arrested. And so every single night you've got then thousands and thousands of people rushing to get these tests, and it's just the most dystopian looking situation. It feels like they should applaud themselves for staving off the wave until it's Omicron, because if you have to get either Alpha, Delta, or Omicron, you'd rather have Omicron.
Right.
They've had time now to build up field hospital capacity. This stuff is insane.
And their only cost was totally giving up all freedoms, ceding all control and authority to the central government.
Right. So for the whole lockdown.
The one that lied to us, misled us about the origins of this pandemic.
Right.
Do
lockdowns work? Well, they can stave it off, apparently, if you strip every single ounce of humanity.
Stop breathing, you're not going to get COVID. I've said that many times.
That's true. That's true, because it goes in through the respiratory system, and so if you don't have a functioning respiratory system,
you can do things.
I didn't go to medical school, but that's my.
You can do things so extreme that they will prevent you from getting COVID. They will just have other effects
you might be dead,
like death.
Yeah,
not good. We'll tell you what's on our radars coming up next. Stay with us.